And Kano Pillars will renew rivalry on Sunday in the first ever Nigerian Premier Football League derby at the Sani Abacha Stadium, which will be played behind closed doors following sanctions on Pillars for crowd violence. The NPFL fined Pillars 9.5 billion naira, deducted 3 points, and ordered them to host matches in Katsina, with the derby exempted but restricted to officials, journalists, and security personnel. Barau sits bottom of the table with 1 win, with White Pillars at 17th with 8 points, because both desperate for a turnaround. Barau denied rumours of Coach Lamboso's dismissal, confirming he remains in charge, although we also heard about a new person that will be in charge. But we'll wait to see how today's games go when it comes to the NPFL. Let's take a look at the fixtures to expect, later today in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Barau FC against Kano Pillars, Bayelsa United against Kun Khalifa, El Academy Warriors will take on Wiki Toys of Bauchi, Eyimba will be at home to Warrior Wolves, Ikorodu City will be welcoming Nasarawa United, Kwara United against Katsina United, and other games to expect in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Would of course see interesting fixtures. Although Remo Stars will not be in action, the game has been postponed against Enugu Rangers. Rivers United game was also postponed due to the involvement in the CAF Champions League. But joining us to talk about the games to expect today in the NPFL, and of course transcending to the CAF Champions League, is a Nigerian sports journalist. Robert Olimene joins us. Robert, good morning to you. Thank you very much for joining.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. It's good to be on the program once again.
All right, Robert, some have tagged Barau FC against Kano Pillars as the biggest match of this match day week. Do you agree with them, and what should we be expecting from that game behind closed door, despite the fact that the team that committed an offense is not going to be at home on the fixtures today, but of course it's going to be played behind closed door?
I think it's unfair to Barau FC, but unfortunately both teams reside in the same state and they share the same stadium. If Barau FC had their own stadium, it would have been a different case entirely. But like I said earlier on, both teams from the same state share the same stadium, hence why they are part of the reasons why they will have to play this game behind closed doors. But I think for Barau FC, I saw them play against Ikorodu City in Lagos. They are a decent side, and I believe that with the ongoing issues that Kano Pillars are having in the league and their form as well in the league, Barau FC should be able to profit from the disorganization within the camp of Kano Pillars at this point in time. Because for followers of the league, taking a look at the log right now, it is a huge surprise to see Kano Pillars struggling at the wrong end of the table. Because I believe that for a team as big, for a team as popular, for a team as historic as Kano Pillars, the wrong end of the table is not where you usually see them come first 10, 15 games of an NPFL campaign. But unfortunately, that is what the statistics, and of course, that is what the league table is telling us right now. So I tip Barau to be able to get at least 1 point, if not maximum points today against Kano Pillars.
All right, let's look at the game. I mean, Nasarawa United are currently top of the table, and that has also earned them a very sweet journey from Nasarawa to Lagos. The team flew from Abuja to Lagos. That is cutting over, 8-9 hours on the road if they are to travel by road, from Lagos, from Nasarawa to Lagos. Do you see them getting the point in Lagos against Ikorodu City, or will it be Ikorodu getting a home win against tabletopers Nasarawa United?
I think for Ikorodu City, initially at the start of the season, they struggled for form, and they struggled to get used to the new faces within the structure of the team. Looking at the fact that initially when the season started, Wale Ejetoye, the captain of the team last season, wasn't available until he was reintegrated back into the team. The defenders like Uzondu, Harry Uzondu also was transferred to Austria. He wasn't part of the setup, and of course you had the likes of Musa Malik, Solomon Rumala all coming into the team, and of course giving them that attacking threat, and of course that excitement we've known Ikorodu City to be from last season. I think today is going to be a tough test against the surprise leaders of the NPFL going forward. But I think at the end of the day, Ikorodu City, they always find a way, because this is one team, just like Kano FC, Arsenal FC in this particular case, as we all know them to be, Ikorodu City will punish any team via set pieces, and of course, I believe that should be one of the avenues they should be able to get the goals and squeeze Nassau United today. So I tip Ikorodu City to get all 3 points today at the end of 90 minutes.
All right, we look forward to that game. Let's move away from there and go on the continent of Africa. Rivers United suffered a 1-0 defeat to Mozambique's Black Bulls in the first leg of the CAF Champions League second round tie on Saturday in Maputo. Mokhtar Diallo's second half goal gave the hosts the advantage at the Estadio Nacional do Zimpeto. Now, despite a disciplined display, Rivers United failed to convert several half chances, allowing the Mozambican champions to maintain their perfect home record. The Nigerian side was now overturned the deficit in the return leg at the Gospel Akpabio International Stadium. Robert, when you talk about teams or countries in Africa, it's sad that Nigerian club sides are still struggling to defeat, even teams from, with due respect to them, teams from Mozambique, teams from, Sudan, when we probably should have, gone past that and focus on maybe teams from the Southern Africa, from the Northern African teams. If Rivers United can struggle against Black Bulls, should we even raise our hopes that they might even get to the group stages or even go all the way to the finals?
It's sad that our teams right now are not fulfilling the potential that I believe they have strongly. Because for teams right here in the NPFL, we see them week in, week out, and you can see that, yes, there are decent talents in the league, I must confess. And we expect that when it comes to continental games, they raise the standard and meet up with the demands of continental football. Now defeat for Rivers United yesterday against Black Bulls. Let's not forget that this same Black Bull defeated Eyimba last season by 3 goals to nothing. So I would say that they are a team on the roll, and they are a team getting accustomed to playing albeit regular continental games or continental football as it is. For Rivers United, all hope is not lost. Or we believe or we expect that our team should be able to come up with the goods away from home and find the back of the net. But they have another chance, which is the second leg next weekend, to get the job done in Uyo. And I believe strongly that for Rivers United, they should be able to get it done. If they can get 2 goals without conceding, they qualify for the group stage. If they can get 3 goals without conceding, or at least concede a goal, but they must win by a 2-goal margin to have any hope or expectations of qualifying for the group stage of the CAF Champions League.
All right, Robert, a game I think that you will probably see today is that one involving Nigeria's Remo Stars versus Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa today in Abeokuta. Remo Stars will host the South African champion on Sunday in the first leg of the CAF Champions League second qualifying round. The Nigerian side, who defeated US Limaju 5-0 on aggregate in the previous round, will aim to use home advantage at the MKO Abiola Sports Arena in Abeokuta. Despite sitting 13th, on the log, of course, Daniel Ogunmodedi's men are confident after resting during the international break. Sundowns, meanwhile, arrive as heavyweights, but with mixed form, having dropped 9 points in 10 league games. Fatigue will also affect the South African players who, of course, were involved in the World Cup qualifiers. But, Robert, we've talked about this game. I've talked about it also with different Nigerian journalists. Yes, many of them are just saying, let's see what they do. I mean, let's just go there and enjoy good football. But do you think that an upset may happen today against Sundowns?
Sincerely, I think an upset is possible against Sundowns today. One, on the back of the fact that historically, Sundowns are yet to win on Nigerian soil. They visited Nigeria 3 times and they are yet to get a win in those 3 attempts. So the game today makes it the 4th time they are visiting Nigeria, and hopefully Remo Stars would keep that proud record in Nigeria intact. Secondly, for Sundowns, their last game, that should be the Black Label tournament right today in South Africa, they lost against Marumo Gallants on penalties. They were knocked out of the Telkom knockout as well by strong rivals, Orlando Pirates. So talking about form, they have not been in the best of sorts as well coming into this game. And let's not forget the fact that last week was at the international break. A huge chunk of their players, 8+ players from the Sundowns team, played for the national team, and they were also on national team assignment last week. So you're looking at a little bit of fatigue, you're looking at a little bit of bad form coming into this game. And I think that when you put all those equations together, it swings the pendulum in the direction or in the corner of Remo Stars going today. And I will say it loud and clear today that if Remo Stars are to get something out of this game, they should convert as many chances as possible, win by a 2 or 3 goal margin without conceding. That further bolsters their chances of getting something right there next week in South Africa. If they can win and win well, not a 1-0 win, well, maybe a 2-0 win without conceding. Looking at the fact that last season they played out a 2-1 win against AS FAR, and we all know how that panned out in the return leg in Morocco. So if they can win by a 2-goal margin without conceding, it gives them a very strong chance. They can win by a 3-goal margin without conceding. The key factor here is Remo Stars have to win without conceding today. Then they stand a very big chance of qualifying for the CAF Champions League group stages.
All right, interesting times ahead for Remo Stars. We've talked about how they can go past the hurdle. We all know that, yes, they're talking about fatigue, but this same South African side played against the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and Nigeria could not defeat South Africa on 2 legs, both home and away. Now, this is club football. While others might be saying fatigue, they might also tell you that they were involved in key games and they've qualified for the World Cup. So now they have to now time to focus on their league. So we'll just wait to see what happens. Let's not predict, what might play out. But Robert, thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we'll have you this week to talk about, the review of these games, games to expect today. But we wish you the very best ahead of today's fixtures between Remo Stars and Mamelodi Sundowns.